Hi, this is Mike from thesubstream.com, and this is an episode of Watch This Instead for the week ending the 4th of December, 2009. It's cold out there. It's the first cold weekend of the winter for us here in Toronto, and it's probably cold for you too. So if you don't want to go out to the theater today and see a movie called Armored, there's a bunch of other really cool heist movies that you could stay at home and watch instead. Because heist movies are one of the things, one of the genres that Hollywood has always done well. Cool, tough dudes that hole up in a warehouse to hash out the score. They get shot in the gut. Dark shadows over half of their face. And a fat cop sees them and they punch each other in the mug. Armored calls to mind first and foremost Quentin Tarantino's first directed film, Reservoir Dogs. And if you haven't seen it lately, you should watch it again because it holds up beautifully. It's even easier possibly now to see than it was back then why this guy was such a revolutionary. All of the stylish stuff that he did in this film. The slow motion ensemble cruise down the sidewalk, the funky 70s music with Stephen Wright on the radio. The dudes shooting the shit around a breakfast table about pop culture crap. That stuff's all been done a million times before and a million times since, but it hasn't made Reservoir Dogs any less powerful and any less entertaining. And that's a testament to how good that film actually is. One of the best heist films of all time. The thing with heist films, and this is true of any really strongly generic films, but it's especially true for heist films, is that there's a linear progression. Films get made, they inspire other films, which is seen by young dudes in theaters who grow up to make other heist films that borrow from that film, that borrowed from that other film. Something like the extended, tense, silent heist scene that spans over minutes, where the guys drill into the safe and put in the nitroglycerin juice and walk underneath the electric eye sensor machine and come from the roof and dig up from below. That can be traced back from one film to another film to another film to another film to another film to the 50s. You can trace these films back to their roots and see how films are built on films, evolving forever. The artistic progression. One of the earliest and best examples of that type of heist scene is the 11-minute sequence in the Asphalt Jungle, which was directed by John Huston and stars one of my favorite actors of all time, Sterling Hayden. It's the prototypical noir heist film, one of the best of all time, made by one of the best directors of all time. And it inspired, arguably, a movie that many people think is the best heist film of all time, that was made 5 years later by an American expat director, Jules Dassin, not Jules Dassin, working in France. And that film is called Rififi, and it came out in 1955. It was made for like no money. It's got this really cool extended robbery heist scene where the guys drill in through the roof. And it was directed by him over there because he was outed in the early 50s, in like 1950, by a director called Ed Dmytryk, who was one of the Hollywood 10, as being a member of the Communist Party in the 30s. So he got blacklisted, couldn't work in Hollywood anymore, so he went to France, was penniless, agreed to direct this movie Rififi for basically no money, and then made one of the best films, one of the best, if not the best, heist films of all time. It also inspired my personal favorite heist film of all time that came out in 1956, Stanley Kubrick's second noir film, The Killing, which also stars Sterling Hayden. All three hold up incredibly well. All three are masterpieces. They may lack the pyrotechnic glitz and explodey gunshot glamour and CGI effects of modern-day heist movies, but they more than make up for it in really cool suspense, tough, gritty, dark, shadow awesomeness. Of course, if you're not interested in film history heist movie night, and you just want to watch a crazy movie about some guys that have kind of light gray morality holed up in a crappy building battling a bunch of guys that have dark gray morality over a bunch of hidden gold, you can rent the not quite a masterpiece but still really fun to watch Ice-T, Ice Cube collaboration with Bill Paxton, 1992's epic Trespass, which arguably inspired the 1993 maybe masterpiece Judgment Night, which had a soundtrack that featured a song that was a collaboration between Faith No More and the Booyah, T-R-I-B-E, the Booyah Tribe. So what I'm basically saying is if you don't want to go out to the theater tonight because it's too cold and you haven't put your snow tires on your car, stay home and listen to the Booyah Tribe. Or click on zip.ca banners on our website, thesubstream.com, and go to Zip and get any one of the best heist films in Hollywood history.